For all your wrestling figure needs, check out ringsidecollectibles.com.
Like wrestling? Tune into The Rack Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern on wildtalkradio.com. That's crispy.
Hey guys, welcome to an all-new episode of Wrestling Figure Wednesday. Today I will be reviewing the Mattel WWE Basic Series 38 Chris Jericho figure. Now, I wasn't originally planning to review this figure as I was a little behind on my figures to review. However, now that he is back on TV, I figured you guys would be interested in seeing his most recent figure since he left, since it is a really cool figure in my opinion, and maybe you guys will be interested in buying it now. So that being said, let's take a look at it up close in the packaging. As you can see, there's an image of Chris Jericho smiling there. There's a WWE logo. Here's Chris Jericho in his purple attire. It says Chris Jericho on the side, and it says Superstar number 19 at the bottom, which means he is the 19th figure out of the basic 2014 line. Looking at the back of the card, you can see another image of Chris Jericho. There's the WWE logo. It says Chris Jericho, Superstar number 19, and his signature is right there. It says Recreate the Action of WWE. Also in the set is Dolph Ziggler, Vicky Guerrero, Sheamus, The Miz, and Kofi Kingston. It says Compete in these Superstar rings, and pictured as a Raw basic ring with a basic John Cena figure standing in it, and a basic SmackDown ring with a basic Sheamus figure standing in it. Sorry about that. And then listed at the bottom is company information. So that being said, let's take a look at him fresh out of the packaging. Alright guys, so here we have the Mattel WWE Basic Series 38 Chris Jericho figure fresh out of the package. Overall, I'd say it's a really awesome basic. I remember when I first saw pictures of it, I wasn't too fond of the head scan, as were a lot of people, but having it in person, I think it looks great, which seems to be the case with a lot of head scans we question online. But this figure is really awesome. If you're still able to find it at the store, I do recommend picking it up. His attire is really detailed, and if you just want a new Chris Jericho figure, since he just returned, like I said, this would be a great one to pick up. So that being said, let's take a look at him up close. As you can see, this is a newer head scan for Jericho where he's smiling. Looks just like him. They did a good job. You can see the detail in his hair with the highlights. Lots of detail. Looks really good. And it is like how his hair was when he returned, I believe, so that's pretty cool too. But it's a ball jointed head that goes up and down. His is restricted, I guess, by his neck, so you can't really move it up and down, unfortunately. But you can turn it left and right. Looking at his torso, he's pretty ripped there. I don't remember if Jericho is that ripped, but regardless, it still looks good. Looking at his arms, he has ball jointed shoulders that go up and down as well as outward. He has swivel bicep joints, typical elbow joints. He has his black wristbands on both wrists, so that's cool. He has a swivel wrist joint as well as a joint that goes up and down. He has a closed fist here and an open hand here. And on this hand, he has his hand tattoo. The camera will focus so you can see it. There you go. So, that's cool. Unfortunately, this figure doesn't have his new tattoos that he debuted with again the other night. So, his newer figures will probably have those, I'm sure. Looking at his lower torso, he has a swivel waist joint. He's wearing his purple and black attire. The blue highlights. It says Y2J 2013. You can see the black stripe there. And it says Y2J 2013 on the back as well. Pretty cool attire. I like the purple. I think it looks good. Looking at his legs now, he has a typical basic leg joints that go up and down. Going down his knees, he has these tall black knee pads over his standard knees. They kind of restrict the movement a bit, as you can see when I try to pose it. It pulls his leg back down. So that's kind of disappointing a little bit, but it still looks good for display purposes. You can see the wrinkles and other details in the padding and stuff on the knee pads, which is cool. And lastly, his boots. He has his kick pads here, purple kick pads with the black and blue silver designs. He has a swivel boot joint that's kind of hidden by the knee pads, which is nice. And he has a typical ankle joints that go up and down as well. And you can see in the details, it says Y2J 2013 on both of them there. You can see the sides. And yeah, this figure is just really cool. I really like the attire. Mattel did a nice job, and I'm excited to see what other figures they end up making of him later this year. So yeah, that being said, thanks for watching. Be sure to like Wrestling Figure Wednesday on Facebook to suggest future reviews you'd like to see me do. I will see you next week. Thanks.